Don't watch me, watch Nolazine TV.
What's good, people? It's Rantz Davis, R&B artist out of New Orleans. You're now watching Nolazine TV.
Okay, so you already told everyone I'm like you from New Orleans, but I'm gonna give you
sure.
I'm like your flowers. Actually before we actually start this interview, because like you was one of the first people I heard on the radio like just straight like
For sure.
all day. I'm like, man, who the hell putting this money behind him?
For sure.
Like you was on the radio more than Lil Wayne. About you and Baby Boy, this is the way I live. I heard you.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think B Streets too.
For sure. Yeah, B Streets on the radio. Yeah. Me and Baby Boy was signed to the same label actually. Shout out to Extreme Entertainment. Shout out to my guy Walter. He put out Baby Boy a few years before I met him, and yeah, man, signed Extreme. And honestly, bro, like once I signed Extreme, everything just kind of took off from there. So shout out to Walter. Shout out to Extreme Entertainment, man. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am today, for sure.
So like, we're gonna bring it back. Like, when did you become one? I'm like singer.
Man, I've been singing probably since I was like 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in church, doing solos and things of that nature. I grew up in the 90s. So growing up in the 90s, listening to people like Usher, R. Kelly, Boyz II Men, all those people influenced me. And then once I got into high school, I actually started taking it a little bit more seriously. Started doing talent shows all over the city. Went to St. Aug, you know what I'm saying? Won St. Aug talent show 2 years in a row, my junior and senior year. And after that, honestly, that's when I was like, man, I think I could really do this. I really have a passion for it. I really have a real love for it. And from that point on, man, even when I got into college, I started taking it seriously. I started, I was actually on the radio while I was in school. Shout out to Dillard University, you know what I'm saying? I was actually on the radio while taking classes at Dillard University. So that's where my love for music came from, just growing up, listening to the radio, growing up in the 90s, the R&B in the 90s was on a whole nother level, you know what I'm saying? So that was my main influences, man. So that's when I just been singing my whole life, bro, since I was like 5 years old, bro.
Gotcha. So as we brought up, it was like 90s R&B.
Yeah.
So, and like they didn't say R&B is dead. I wonder how you feel about it.
Man, to be honest with you, like R&B, in my opinion, isn't dead. There's a lot of R&B artists that's popping right now, man. You got people like Lucky Day. Shout out to he from the city as well. Shout out to Lucky Day. You got Kalani. You got man, so many R&B artists, man. So many I can't even name. But I listen to them daily. This new artist I just started listening to, Alex Vaughn. She official. She on a whole nother level. There's man, I'm trying to think of all this. I listen to R&B all the time, bro. So yeah, R&B is not dead at all. I would say the only thing that that's different now is there's not as many outlets for R&B artists. It's not as popular as it was. Back in the 90s, R&B was like pop. It was, everybody was, you get the songs that you listen to, they were on the radio. Right. There's not a lot of R&B songs that's being played on the radio as much as it was in the 90s.
And they also don't have like a lot of blogs promote.
Don't have a lot of vlogs. They don't have a lot of video shows. Right. Back in the early 2000s, you had like 106 in Park. Even TRL was playing some R&B videos as well. You had Hits from the Streets. You had a lot of music video shows. And I remember growing up being like 13, 14 years old watching BET. And used to see like commercials for the new Usher album about to drop, the new Genuine album about to drop, the new TLC album about to drop. They used to promote the hell out of the R&B artists. Now I listen to R&B now, and I discover a lot of R&B artists just from streaming services. I'm really heavy on Tidal, so when I go on Tidal, it's always this is the new album that's about to drop, or I'll just put in a R&B playlist that Tidal has curated. And I'll discover, yeah, man, I'll discover a lot of new R&B artists, man. So it's a lot of great R&B music that's being made right now. It's just that it's not in the forefront like we see hip hop. We see hip hop everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We see hip hop everywhere. But we don't see R&B as much.
It was all promoted at basketball games, football games now.
Exactly. So we see R&B. I mean, we see hip hop everywhere. We don't see R&B everywhere. But don't get it twisted, bro. There's a lot of great
Lot of
R&B
talent.
artists that's out here that's making beautiful, still classic R&B music that we love, that we still can relate to.
And we speak of R&B, you know, we gotta give a shout out to New Orleans, because New Orleans
For sure.
killing it. Like,
For sure.
even the ones who jumped in there and just it kind of fell back for a while.
For sure.
Like New Orleans got Lucky Day.
Like you got Ombre.
They got Ombre.
Ombre a beast.
PJ Martin.
PJ Martin. Shout out
They
to
got
PJ Martin.
They got Frank Ocean.
Frank
People don't know
Ocean.
Frank Ocean with the John Eric.
Yes, sir. Lloyd.
And also,
Well.
it was Lucky Day with the John Eric.
Yeah.
People don't know.
Yeah, from the West Bank.
Yeah, people don't know.
He was
from
on.
Railroad.
Bro, he was on American
American
Idol back
Idol.
in like 2005, 2005. I was a senior in high school, so when I
root for him.
yeah, for sure. So when I saw Lucky Day, obviously when the first time I saw him, I didn't know that was David Brown. That's his real name.
Right.
I didn't know that was him at first, but then once they brought it to my attention, because it had been so long since we seen him, and I thought about, he had a whole new look and everything. I'm like, oh man, that
I
is
didn't know
him.
it was him.
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
didn't
oh,
know
that
it
is
was him
him.
either until probably a few months ago I saw him.
Yeah.
Like David Brown.
That's David
I'm
Brown.
like, I remember
bro.
all your brothers.
Yeah, right, exactly. But nah, bro, that's probably, honestly, man, Lucky Day, in my opinion, is probably one of the top R&B artists that I listen to personally, bro. I love his music, bro. So.
And he grinded, like people.
Yeah, for sure.
So I got a few more questions for you, but
Yeah, for sure.
like, far as the R&B in New Orleans, like, most R&B artists who made it from New Orleans didn't make it in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I want you to give like a person who was on the radio,
Mm-hmm.
did everything they possibly could do to be the biggest artist in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the problem breaking the R&B artist in New Orleans is?
The industry's just not here. Honestly, the industry, yeah. To be honest with you, it's not as many opportunities, not as many outlets, as it is in Atlanta. It's not I would say the biggest thing too from somebody that actually did it and was successful on the radio and things of that nature. The biggest thing is it's not a lot of opportunities to make money. As well. So, when I was doing shows, a lot of promoters, instead of like paying you or whatever, they would kind of pay you in the form of getting a free section and some free bottles. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like somebody I know, but I ain't gonna throw his name in the interview.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just, a free section and some free bottles instead of paying you. Like I had songs hitting Billboard. You know what I'm saying? My songs were so big on the radio, they were charting on Billboard. I should have been getting paid thousands of dollars for shows. But, when it came down to it, we had to take what we could get, because it was either you gonna do the show or you're not gonna do the show. You know what I'm saying? And I still want to do my shows. I still love performing, so I just took what they could give me. Sometimes we would request certain amounts of money, and they denied it. You know what I'm saying? The thing about being in another city like Atlanta or LA or things of that nature, man, if I probably would have had the radio spins and things of that nature that I had in New Orleans, in a city like Atlanta or LA, I probably would have been at six figures. You know what I'm saying? 5, 6 G's a show. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's just promoters and things of that nature that is not willing to. They always, regardless of if you're on the radio or not, they kind of look at it as an opportunity for exposure more than anything. So I would say that's the biggest reason, I would say, why most artists from New Orleans move and go to another city, because we are passionate about what we do, and then once we get to a certain level of popularity, you can't get no 9 to 5, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you on the radio and you doing shows, you can't get no 9 to 5, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna take away from your persona. Take away from the way people look at
If
you.
you do like TLC at that award show when they pulled up in them little Kias.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, either you gonna go get a 9 to 5 because the promoters and the club owners, whatever, is not paying you what your worth is, or you gonna move to another city and kind of go from there. So I would say that's, just from my experience, that's what kind of drove me to go to another city.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So tell us, what's next for you?
Man, I'm dipping and dabbling in so many things, bro. I'm on some entrepreneurship stuff as well. I'm doing real estate. I'm really looking to getting heavily back into music before the end of the year. Obviously I have a lot of connections in the industry, so those connections never go away. Built a lot of great relationships, so I could always do music at any time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of took a break to get into entrepreneurship, starting my different businesses that I've done as well. But yeah, man, I would say what's next for me is just, getting back heavily into music, creating music, songwriting and singing, and then also, spending time with my businesses as well. Because I'm all about, several sources of income, man. I look up to people like Diddy and Jay-Z and, Dr. Dre and Drake. Those people don't just make music, but they also create businesses as well. So I would say those are the things that I'm kind of focused on, is just different ways of making money, so that I can focus on the things that I love to do, and not the things that I have to do, but the things that I love to do.
Gotcha.
So, being in New Orleans, do you feel like you was before your time? Like, I feel like if you would have came like up in this era today, that you would have like popped faster.
Even faster, yeah, even bigger for sure. Man, it was a time, yeah, definitely. Like I mentioned earlier, I came out during the time before Instagram was popping. I came Instagram was came in at the tail end, you know what I'm saying, right when I moved to Atlanta and shit like that, but I never really got to capture the moments and things that I experienced in the streets, you know what I'm saying, in the clubs and in the studio and things of that nature, like how people are able to capture those things now. Right. So I really do feel like, yeah, man, I was definitely before my time, man, for sure. Right,
and then, what's another question I had? Like, cause you did a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because, we was outside.
Yeah, for sure.
We did, business with you, too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I modeled the loyalty, bro. I was one of the first people to model the loyalty apparel, man.
You really was right there seeing you,
for sure.
grind it out. So
yeah,
you think,
man.
What happened, in that space? I feel like you was on a trajectory, and then I feel like you just went off the face of the earth. I'm like, damn, what the hell happened to Rantz? Like, was it with the label? Like, what happened to Extreme Entertainment? That's still a thing, or?
No, they not a thing no more. I would say more so once I moved to Atlanta. Man, it's just I would say just the business aspect. I don't want to really out anybody, but certain people in the camp, you know what I'm saying, wasn't doing the things that they needed to do. The only thing that we can do, obviously, I can create as much music as I can, but I'm not a manager. I'm not a promoter, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. It's a team effort, you know what I'm saying, in order to get your music to where it needs to be at, in front of the eyes and the ears that it needs to get. There's certain people that needs to play their part as well, and I would say the music never fell off, for sure. The music never fell off. It was always where it needs to be, still is, but it was more so people on the team that didn't play their part and didn't do what they needed to do. I would say that.
That's
yeah.
Being an artist, because, with us, we manage a couple artists, and it's artists, they don't understand the
business.
I'm gonna say, do you feel like you could have done more?
I would say,
wish you would have done more or something different.
Yeah, I would say this too. I didn't really know the business as much as I did. All I knew was I just wanted to create music. You know what I'm saying? All I wanted to do was just make music. I didn't really dib and dab into the business side of it. Now I feel like myself, even my camp, you know what I'm saying? V Script, like I say, the songwriter. You see he's having success in songwriting because he has learned the business. And I've learned not just the music business, but I've learned a lot about business in period. Right. I've actually owned a couple businesses, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, I have a different mentality now than I did 10 years ago, where, it's a certain mentality, there's certain work ethic, it's a certain belief that you have to have when things, I would say that too, man, when things don't go as well as you want them to go, we were quick to try to switch up things instead of just sticking to it. You feel me? Right. Now we have that mentality where we know, it don't matter. If you just keep going, you just stick to the plan, it's going to happen. Eventually it's going to happen. But I would say back then, we were discouraged a little bit easier. We try to put this song out and it don't do what it do. We try to do this and it don't do what it do. And we try to switch things up. Whereas now we have that mentality, bro, if this works, if we had success in this, just keep it going. Just keep it going. And then also, I would say the mentality is different to whereas now we're all comfortable with just being who we are. I feel like back then we were trying to just do whatever sells. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fit in with the trends. The type of music that we may make that really touches people, it may not be as popular. So we're just trying to get on. We trying to get a record deal. We in our early 20s, bro. We ain't making no checks. Right. So we trying to chase a check. You feel me? Right. So we trying to create music that we could chase a check, but we should have just kind of, I would say, just stick to the lane that we are amazing in, and just grind it out.
Almost like how Currency do. Like Currency
exactly. in that lane, regardless if it's mainstream or not.
Right.
You feel me? He just got his lane. He stayed to it. He got his core fans, and he stick to it. I feel like back then, but because we didn't know the business like that, and we didn't have the mentality that we have now, that's one thing that kind of led us, you know, in different directions as well, for sure.
And then this is my last question.
Mm-hmm.
Around that time, did you have a song on 106 Park or something?
No.
What was the song? I was just on. What was the song?
I know I had
the one that was on Billboard.
I had two on Billboard, but I know I had Nobody was on like Sirius XM radio, stuff like that.
Nobody, that's the one.
I know they flew me to New York one time. I did a whole interview with Sirius XM.
So around that time, was labels like reaching out to you? Or?
Yeah, for sure. We had a couple labels. Shout out to Young Money, Cortez, Wayne. They reached out to me. We had Universal Republic. They reached out to me. Actually flew to New York and met with them as well. A few, like I said, what was another one? Universal Motown. Mm-hmm. Also, so you had Universal Republic and Universal Motown, and then Young Money too. I actually performed at Republic, bro, back in like 2010, and Wayne was in the building, and I didn't even know he was in the building. Like literally, I never forget my manager. My manager tapped me on the shoulder, bro, right before I'm about to get on stage. Tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "Hey, bro, you better kill it. That boy Wayne here." I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah, bro, look up." I looked up, that boy Wayne just leaning over the banister. You know what I'm saying, man? Went on stage and killed it. Got the chance to meet Wayne, Cortez, the whole camp. And we was in talks with them as well. But, you know, shout out to Birdman. But Birdman wasn't trying to do R&B at the time. You feel me? So that kind of cut that short. But man, we had a few labels because we did, you know, we was definitely buzzing out of New Orleans and everything too.
So y'all didn't take no deal around that time?
We didn't take no deal because the deals that they kind of offered to us was just kind of like single deals. It was just like, hey, you could put out this one single, and then if it don't work, then it's like, you know. So I felt like I deserved more than that. So that's why we, you know, and you hear from people too, like don't always take the first deal they show to you. If they show interest, just keep it pushing. Right. You know what I'm saying? They'll come back around with something even bigger and better. So we definitely did get some traction from some labels, but and then also I'm about to forget about this, man. I had Capitol Records as well. We came really close to signing a deal with Capitol Records for sure. But they ended up choosing another R&B artist, but the R&B artist they chose, you don't even know who that is. They ain't even come. I mean, I want to say they might have dropped like one song.
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it might have been a good thing that it didn't happen too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we had Capitol. I was in the Capitol Records building in LA. You know what I'm saying? Met with the A&R and everything. So we came close a few times. You know what I'm saying? Came close a few times, but it didn't happen, and we just kept it pushing. And then, like I said, certain people in the camp got discouraged, and they stopped working as hard as they should have, and, you know, things like that. So it's just, you know, a mentality thing more than anything, bro. You know what I'm saying?
All right, this is really my last question.
Yeah.
So looking back, do you wish you would have took one of those deals, or you feel like y'all made the right decision? Because I've been feeling like sometimes you gotta take the wrong deal just to get your feet in the game. You know what I'm saying? Then come back around and restructure the deal once you like prove to people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
we could have. I feel like I don't regret not taking. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret not taking it. I feel like if anything, we should have just. Like I said, more than anything, the mentality of just keep pushing, just keep grinding, you know what I'm saying? And not getting, you know, when things slow down, because, you know, things slow down, things pop off and then they slow down. And I feel like, you know, when things slow down, it was just certain people in the camp that just started getting discouraged and they wanted to dip and dab into other things and, you know, things like that. So I felt like if we would have just kept just releasing music, you know what I'm saying, then we probably would be in a different time than we are now, you know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, man, it's all a journey, and shit, the thing about it is we still very, very young, bro. You know what I'm saying? We still got a lot of opportunity. Like I said, even my cousin whose song wrote for on Nobody and Old Thing Back, he's Grammy nominated now. He got hella connections. So the door is always there. You know what I'm saying? The door is always there, and you know, I always enjoyed it. You always enjoy the journey, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe things could have happened quicker, but it's always that opportunity is still there. And you know, we still young, ain't you know, the talent ain't go away, the passion ain't go away, and you know, things will be different. You know, it's a different time, but man, we still could do what we love to do, bro. Facts. For sure.
That's all I had, dog.
Yes, sir.
I just had to get my little personal questions out here.
And also, last but not least, tell
Sure.
everyone what can they find you on social media? It's everywhere.
Man, definitely follow me on my Instagram at Rantz_Davis. That's RANTZ _DAVIS. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and then Facebook. Obviously, just Rantz Davis. So just follow me on my social media, man. We gonna take it up for sure. Let's go.